scrimmages given any more weight versus the total body of work over the course of camp? And how are you breaking that down when you look at the film?
Yeah, I think that the total body of work is what we look at. But obviously I think team reps, not just a scrimmage, but any team rep carries more weight than a 7-on-7 or anything like that, simply because, I mean, when you play football, there's 11 people on there. And so whoever can make the unit go, that's the goal of the offense, obviously. And so, like I said, it's not like we don't necessarily put more on the scrimmage than any practice, but we do, like I said, evaluate team reps at a different level than we evaluate everything else.
How much is left in that decision at this point for you guys? Do you feel like you're pretty close to making a call there?
That's probably up to coach, to be honest with you. But I think that all three quarterbacks right now are doing some good things, and today's one of the better days all three of them had. And so they continue to get better. They continue to get more and more comfortable with what we're doing. Obviously, Keenan's been around here for a while, so he should be very comfortable. But the two youngsters have really started playing at a high level, especially as of late. I think in the last week was probably the best weeks that both of them had since they've been here, and so hopefully they just keep getting better. No matter what reps they're getting or how many they're getting, I think that's got to be the goal. Is they got to continue to improve every day. Keenan's been beat up each of the last couple of years, and we've had to play with another guy. And so, from that standpoint, they got to be ready. And for the future of this program, they got to continue to develop. And so, that's the goal for both those guys and for us as a coaching staff as well.
So are you preparing your receivers for any extra double teams, specifically Drake? We asked him earlier, and he said he hasn't really been worrying about too much, just executing what he does.
That's a good answer. I think that's what he has to focus on, and I think I don't know how teams will play us, to be honest with you. I think that we're running the ball well right now, and that takes some pressure off those receivers, and so with the talent we have, I think we can put people in binds, and that's the goal, and attack. We'll figure out a way to attack them however they decide to play us, and that's got to be, like I said, regardless of what they try to do, we got to go try to execute at a high level, and that's the whole kind of philosophy of what we do.
You guys have had some explosive run plays from the scrimmage. You had a couple good ones today. How do you evaluate the run game in terms of efficiency at this point, and where you'd like it to be?
I think they're doing a lot of good things, and I think that for the most part, everyone's on the same page, and that's as important as anything with that, because, like I said, we have some really good running backs back there, and when if we can just all be going to the right people and kind of get some cover up there, those guys can make they can make everything else right, and to me that's the sign of good running backs. Is it's not going to be perfect, but you got to make them right at times, and as you saw, I think today, there were times where there were guys. We got to have it up, and then there's an extra guy standing there, and they make them right, and that's their job, and they like that, So they want to do that. All of them do it at a high level, and they're really going to help us because they're playing at a high level.
Jackson says a big part of his bond with you has been built over pickleball. Yeah. So I'm just curious, how much of an effort have you put into kind of building up that room in that way with other non-football kind of stuff?
Well, if it's a competitive sport, I just need players to play against, to be honest with you. And so he's available, and so he's my victim sometimes. No, did he tell you he's never beat me?
He had a lot of good things to say about you. We'll just say that.
Well, I'm glad.
He gave you a good scout.
I'm glad he was at least honest. But no, I think that especially in that room, but I think in all rooms, I think that the relationship that a coach and player have is very important, and they got to know that you care about them on a lot higher level than just as a football player. And so whatever they're interested, like I play spike ball with those guys, I play pickleball with those guys, and I think more than anything, I think it's just important for them to see me outside of a coaching role. You know what I mean? And whether it be come over to the house and get to see me around my wife and my son, and interacting with them, and let them interact with the kids. I think that that allows you to coach them harder, because they know it's not a personal attack on them. We just have a really high standard. We're gonna hold them to that standard. You know what I mean? And so if you have a real relationship with them off the field, and they know you love them more than just as a great football player, then I think it allows you to coach them harder. And so that's where I think more than anything why that happens. Whether it be pickleball or just going to dinner at the house and having them over, or going to the beach with them. When we have downtime we do a lot of that because one, it's something we all enjoy doing, but also, like I said, I think it helps to build a strong relationship, and that allows us to be more comfortable on the field. Like I said, I can coach them at a lot more, I can coach them harder. They don't take it personal. And I think at the end of the day, it allows you to play better because they know deep down this dude cares about me, this dude loves me, regardless of if I play well or not today. And so I think it kind of takes some of that pressure off of them. And I think that's why we do that,
So yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, what's one trait that's standing out from Drake, specifically this camp or just in totality?
Drake does a lot of things well. He does everything well, But, I think that the thing that might be the most impressive about him is, one, to be as big as he is and the body control that he has is rare. Most guys that are his size, have a little bit of stiffness to them because, it's unfair to be that big and that fluid, you know what I mean? But that's why there's not many of them. And just the way he gets in and out of routes, the discipline he has in his routes, stuff like that is really impressive because, everyone's seen his ball skills, his playmaking ability, and he's done a great job of doing that all camp, no question. But just like I said, his ability to run routes at a really high level, he's not just a big guy, that bullies people to get open. He's a big guy that can really sink his hips and get in and out of cuts and create separation by more than just being big. And I think that's what separates him from other big receivers. And so putting him out, he's played outside more, and we move him in, out, put him all over the place. But when you get out there on the outside, you've got to be able to run routes, and he's special at that. So and he's been able to display that more this camp than ever before. So it's been fun to see.
You came into Texas Tech and completed 67% of your passes as a freshman. As a senior, you left at 71%. So my question is just, how teachable is accuracy? And how do you go about really moving the needle with players? Or is that just something a guy has to have?
Yeah, I think it's hard to coach it, and obviously we work on it, we talk about it. Any drill we do, we try to, I try to give them a target, you know what I mean? And whether it be pat and go or any throw, they're trying to hit a spot, you know what I mean? And whether it be like the Nike check on a guy's jersey or whatever the case may be, they're always trying to hit an upfield shoulder on slant. So they know what they're trying to hit. And so we try to, like I said, focus on it, talk about it, emphasize it. But I don't think you can necessarily teach it, you know what I mean? I think that one, that comes with reps, and two, I think it's an ability that some guys have naturally. And so, and some guys don't. And, it's rare that people don't complete many balls in high school or college and then complete them in the pros, you know what I mean? Or, if they don't complete many balls in high school, they rarely improve the percentage in college. If they don't complete a ton in college, they rarely improve the percentage in the pros. And I think a lot of that is like a natural ability to be accurate with the football. And so I think it's hard to teach. It's something we work on. It's something we emphasize. And I think that helps, but some people are more naturally accurate than others.
Let's do one more.
Graham, he came in pretty poised just in general for a freshman, but in terms of just that poise from then to now, where have you seen the biggest differences with him?
I think that, like you said, as a freshman, he was really, really impressive. And the biggest growth for him, I think, over the years has not necessarily been poised, but his ability to kind of, or his willingness probably to, get on the unit when he has to. And that's part of your job as a quarterback. And I tell him that and emphasize that to him is, holding teammates accountable and stuff like that. It can be uncomfortable, but it comes with being the quarterback. And so I think that's probably where he's grown the most, because like you said, as a freshman, he walked in and was extremely poised. He did a lot of things really, really well. But I think he's grown as a leader from that standpoint, and his willingness to be a leader. And so that helps, and I think that those other two have some natural leadership abilities that helps them. And so, like I said, I got a fun room, and he's a fun guy to have out there, but the other ones are too. And so it makes my job a lot of fun to come to.